What's up, friends? I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Sunday Schlip Schlap in the Bing Bong. We're going to get the cinematic analog rig. Not as in like the FPV camera is analog and then it carries a cinematic HD camera. No. This is literally and figuratively both a cinematic rig that films in analog. It is the main RC drift car chasing rig. It is the not main. Main's not the right word. It is the best performing RC drift car chasing rig. And it's also the rig that once I get the adapter, I'm going to beam the footage of this rig, of me flying this rig, onto the big ass quad TVs at that place. But of course, even though I got the box that I needed to do it, and I was all excited to go do it on Thursday, this being the box that Pyrodrone sells. This is the first little VRX, which has HDMI out. First one that I've seen, at least, that's cheap. So yeah, but it's got the small HDMI plug on it, and of course, at the place, the cable that goes to the big quad monitor, big quad TV thing is the big HDMI plug. So I had to go on Amazon and get an adapter. And actually, I didn't even put that order in yet. I have to do that order on Azalea's account because she's got a gift card that long story. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing back up in the air tonight, and most importantly, we are going. Well, so I tried to fly it on Thursday, but the BT 2.0 lead let go here, and actually it looks like the wires just pulled off. This is one of the reasons that I don't run the regular setup for a BT 2.0 lead anymore, where the wire goes straight into it here, because with the wire going straight into it, the battery plug is facing backwards, so you always have to 180 degree it, and when you 180 degree it, now the wires are sitting like this, so when you crash it in the back, it just beats the hell out of that wire, and eventually it lets go. This was a wire. This is a BT 2.0 lead that was included in. It was included with. Oh, this AIO actually. I was gonna go look around for the T-Motor AIO, but no, this is the AIO. So yeah, this lead actually comes with it, which is super handy. You just solder it up to the board, and you're good to go. But yeah, I guess their soldering here on to the lead itself leaves a little bit to be desired. That's okay though, because I'm going to fix this by doing my extra lightweight method of having the wires come in from the front of the connector and then just make a little 45 and hook up with the leads that I have on pretty much all my other stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing up to date with that. You know, it was interesting. So the footage that you guys have been watching at the beginning and the ends of the streams for the past, well, since Thursday, is from me chasing the drift cars, and I was chasing them with the Ultimate Freestyle rig in the newbie drone frame, and so I had flown a whole bunch of batteries in a row on this, and then I took this guy, and I got like 10 seconds before this lead let go, and it felt really different. It felt super, 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 super different than this thing. More different than, like, I've done this before. I've flown these rigs and mixed them with this rig at the chasing the drift cars. And this thing always feels a little bit different. But man, this time it felt way, way, way different. So I'm really looking forward to getting this fixed this coming Thursday. I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to put a bunch of batteries through this, and maybe even the crown frame, although these two guys feel damn near identical, so I don't think it really matters, but whatever. And then I'm going to put this up in the air and see if I can really figure out what the hell feels so different about it. Could just be the camera position, could just be having the camera all the way up front, all the way down super low. It's also a weight and a thrust thing. All three of these have 0702 32,000 or 32,500 kV motors. So they all make roughly the same amount of power. I lied. I didn't even realize that. This has 28,500 kV WeBleed motors. I thought that I put 32,000 on here. Okay, so that will certainly have an effect on it. Also, the Fractal frame blocks a little bit more of the thrust, and it's a little bit heavier. So this rig is, I want to say, like 2 or so grams heavier than these guys. Let's see. The fuck was that? What just fell? Oh, the WeBleed battery tin committed Harry Carey and jumped. We got a jumper. So yeah, there's that. Let's fire up this fresh new scale, though, sent by one of you beautiful bastards. So this guy, which is good to go. Yeah, the lead is broken, but it's at full weight. is 20.27 grams. Call it 20.3. And then the Crown Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop, Crown Framed Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop is 19.37. And then the rig that I was flying in the intro is 18.9. Yeah, 18.9. So yeah, pretty significant weight difference between these three. I know that like 1 to 2 grams doesn't sound like much, but as we always say, you got to think about it in percentages. The percentage of change between 19 and 21 grams is gigantic, right? Like 5+%. And that's the number that really matters the most. So yeah, I'm actually surprised this is as light as it is, and it's going to get a little bit lighter by me cutting these leads down. That's pretty cool. It might gain a little bit of weight. The other thing that we're doing to this is swapping the camera out. Right now, I'm not totally sure what camera is on here. I think it's the Tiny Whoop pinch cam, but I could totally be wrong. It is not doing great in super low light. And there's no adjustability on the camera itself. So yeah, we're going to throw this Caddx Ant at it, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better. Right now I've got this Caddx Ant set up for the tiny lifters, but I don't like the way that this camera looks going through the Newbie Drone AIO. The Newbie Drone AIO really only looks good. Yeah, good is subjective, but I only really like the way that it looks. How about that? When it has the Newbie Drone BI cameras on it, which are the cameras that were designed for it. So, I mean, it does make sense there. But, yeah. We'll put this Caddx Ant on here. It will give me a little bit of adjustability. It's got the little plug on it to hook a little remote controller up. And, yeah, hopefully it fits in the wacky camera mount that the Fractal has up in the front there. So yeah, got the Razorback done last night, all back together, looking all fresh and shit. Brand new, not brand new, but white camera now on the front, and then white antenna on the back here. Had to put an extra piece of shrink wrap on this antenna wire so that my little TPU antenna holder that I love so much would grab down on the antenna enough. But that was pretty straightforward. Didn't really change anything else on it. It's ready to go really fast. Tons of up tilt on the camera. The camera is at, so the GoPro mount is at about, it is 40 degrees of up tilt. And then the FPV camera, I have it just a little bit extra, so it's probably about 45 degrees of up tilt on the FPV camera. That'll guarantee that I just absolutely haul ass with this thing when I'm flying it, which is kind of the point. So I'm actually really looking to getting this back up in the air. What props are on it right now? 5236s? I think, yeah, 5236s. I'm looking forward to trying it on these 5236s. So I have two 6S Tattoo R-Line 1400 mAh batteries that I kind of got for this, and the Cinesplore. And so I'm going to do one of those batteries on these 5236s, and then I'm going to put a 5-inch, even higher pitch propeller on here. And I'm really interested to see the difference between a 5.2 36 pitch prop, and basically it's going to be like a 50 48, 50 47, 50 49, something like that. Big difference in pitch, but shorter blades. So yeah, kind of interesting. I wonder if I'll be able to really feel a difference. We'll see. So yeah, looking forward to getting this back up and firing it across parking lots and or fields. I gotta find a big spot for it. You know, you can't really fly this in a small spot. But hey, watch this. Oh shit! The completionists and the OCDists can breathe a sigh of relief. The wall of glides is back. Cineglide, which is my basically my live streaming 5-inch rig. Razorback, Rocinante, the test bed rig. Wait, no. It's the Rossi, which is the digital 5-inch. This is just one of the analog freestyle 5-inch rigs. This is the test bed rig here, and then this is the cinematic analog rig. I would really, I would really like to not have an analog 5-inch and an analog Cinesplore, and then a digital 5-inch and a digital Cinesplore. But they're just situations where I feel more comfortable with the analog rigs. I'm kind of hoping that Walk Snail is good enough to convert everything over, but I just don't think it is. I just keep hearing about people having same as DJI, just blackouts. You know, like all these not all, but Walk Snail, DJI, digital systems. Every once in a while, they just black all the way out, and they don't come back for an amount of time that you're probably going to have to ditch the rig. And that's scary, man. Like when I'm flying downtown around buildings and all kinds of other stuff, it's yeah, it's scary. I feel much more comfortable with analog, where I know that the video link, if something bad happens, it's going to at least slowly kind of go away, right? Like I'm going to fly into an area where it goes away, and then I can back out, hopefully. Whereas with digital, like you fly into an area that's gonna kill the video signal, it blacks out, and you've got like 10 seconds before it comes back. Like maybe I can flick up into horizon mode and hammer the throttle. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's horrifying, man. I've had DJI blackout on me 3 times now, and it's just so scary, man. It doesn't happen often, but it absolutely happens. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Basically, when I have a gig, I just kind of think about like, is there going to be Scraggle and or power lines? If there's going to be Scraggle or power lines, I really second guess analog, because I won't be able to see them. And so basically, if there will be, then I bring the digital rigs and hope that they don't black out. If there's not going to be, if it's more like clear air that I'm going to be flying in, and or if it's a situation where lower latency is going to benefit me, right? Like so for example, if I'm flying in like an uncontrolled set where there could be just strangers that just appear in the view or walk right in front of the quad, that's a situation where I would rather have analog, because it's going to have lower latency. And if I'm flying and someone does walk in front of me, latency is what matters. Like I'm going to see them, right? So analog versus HD, yeah, like HD is not going to help me, but the latency difference is going to give me 15 to 20 milliseconds more warning of that object flying in front of me that I then have to avoid. And yeah, analog is king there. So it's interesting, man. Like analog still has a lot of benefits. Quad City Bay Area with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, especially concrete penetrations, does analog still beat digital in penetration? Not really. Not with my rigs, at least. I don't have big, super powerful VTXs on any of my rigs. So digital probably has the edge on penetration, because you can crank it up to 1.21 gigawatts. But yeah, like analog, you can, I feel like with analog, you can fly deeper into the breakup. I mean, I don't feel like you can. You can fly analog all the way into the breakup until like you can barely see anything. And then even when you can barely see anything, you can still see something. Whereas like with digital, in that case, it's just gonna go to black. So yeah, I believe though, and I could be wrong. I believe that digital is gonna win on outright range, and also like when I say outright range, what I also mean is like going behind a second building and getting as many bounces as possible. Yeah, DJI just seems to be the king of range. It would be interesting to put a 1.2 gig. Well, see, I mean that I still think it is though, because so on the Cinesplore, I've got a TBS Pro. The analog, where is it? Ah, here it is. The analog Cinesplore has a TBS Pro 32 running at 800 million watts. And I run my DJI stuff at 700. And the DJI stuff, like, just, I don't know. I'm not sure if I've ever, like, tested them head to head, but it just feels like the DJI stuff does go a little bit farther, bounce a little bit better. The cinematic 5-inch analog rig is on a Tramp, which is 500 million watts. And again, the DJI cinematic rig, I run it on 700. So there, I mean, it does make sense that this guy would do a little bit better. But I swear to God, in the scenarios where I've flown similar locations with the digital and the analog Cinesplores, I really do feel like the digital one does better in terms of range. But it could just be me. It could just be like placebo of like I can see where I'm going, and that feels like it's better range. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Hey, I finally found that washer that I lost in the carpet a week or so ago. All things eventually get found. Hey, this is my full-time job. If you like these live streams and would like to see them continue, it's all on you. I have nothing to do with it. It's just I just have to turn it over to you beautiful people, and you, my fate is in your hands. If you'd like my fate to be positive, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. And there's a whole bunch of ways that you can support me. Patreon is the best possible way that you can support me. It is the only reason that I can do this full time. But there's some other stuff that is very helpful when you kind of combine all of it. But Patreon is the best thing that you can do. And it's going to give you the most benefits, to be totally honest. So definitely check out the Patreon. Here's my streaming schedule. Over on Etsy, I've got some really fun stickers and random hardware that you might like. Over on Teespring, there's some really fun shirts and apparel. Shirt of the day is not from Teespring. This is my favorite t-shirt ever. This is from Redbubble, and you can't get it anymore, which makes me very sad. I have not washed this. I have not washed this shirt. I have not washed this shirt. Why do people put R's in after A's where they don't belong? What is that? It's like a central Midwest thing, but it also pops up like in upstate New York. Why are you washing things? Stop fucking washing things, you maniac. Wash things. Get the fucking R out of there. Why an R? Where's the R coming from? We're just throwing R's around into words now? Is that's what's happening? We're just fuck it, put an R in. The Tuttles, the American chopper assholes, were notorious for just putting R's into many words and just generally being mouth breathing, knuckle dragging assholes. What's with the R? Wash, W-A-S-H, not W-A-R-S-H. Warsh? What? Are you trying to sound like a lunatic? I just offended someone. Someone puts R's into their words that's watching, and I just offended them. I'm sorry. But it's crazy. I'm going to help you out here. Take the R's out. I'm going to just leave it there. Sorry. Not sorry. I'm helping you out here. I'm helping you. I swear. You're gonna take the R's out, and then people are gonna be like, oh, cool. It's tribalism, man. It's that tribalism. Over on Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me. Take advantage of somebody with almost 8 years of FPV experience that's willing to share it all. Help you stop buying components that catch on fire. Learn how to tune your rigs better so that they fly better. And so that just you know how to solve the problems with based around tuning. And I can help you fly better. Flight instruction is something that I have a blast doing. So yeah, take advantage of it. You know, if you have more money than time, this is a really good way to get better. Like, you can just pour time into FPV, and eventually you'll get smarter, and you'll fly better, and you'll troubleshoot better, and you'll build better. Or you can spend a little bit of money, and I will accelerate that process like absolute gangbusters. Any excuse to say shit like gangbusters, and I'm going to take it. Over on PayPal, if you want to donate to the cause, but you don't want to do a super chat where YouTube is going to take 30%, you can use that. I'm okay with YouTube taking a little cut. They give me this spot to live stream on. That's nice of them. And then look at all these affiliate links, yo. Affiliate links are free money for those of us that create content. If you're ordering something on the internet, there's probably an affiliate link for it from a content creator that you watch here on YouTube. Help us out. Try to dig up an affiliate link real quick before you check out of any website on the internet, and we'll love you forever. I have affiliate links for WeBleed, Newbie Drone, FPV Cycle, Amazon, GetFPV, Oh My God's website, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Max, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. And then down the bottom here, there's a bunch of other funny stuff that you'll definitely laugh your balls off at. So yeah, that's how you support me. I greatly appreciate it, my friends. There was a new patron that I wanted to give a shout out to, but mail is not open right now. It is... oh man, I had it up there. There it is. Jason LP. Welcome to the Gangly Gang, Jason. Thank you for joining the Patreon. Much, much, much appreciated. All right. Authorized. What? No. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. In the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange, and I'll know that you're talking to me. Or you can do a super chat if you want to support me and have me read your stuff. Patchy Smoogo and somebody says, "What's up, CiottiFPV? How you doing?" I'm doing great. Espander says, "Hey, Gangly Gang. Hi, CiottiFPV." Denzel the Terrible says, "Afternoon, Ganglies. How was your pooping?" Everything came out just fine. Brandon Woodford says, "Hey, everyone, what's up?" Freeload just says, "No job is finished until the paperwork is done." Safe Zone FPV says, "Que pasa Mufasa?" I like that. Cole Power says, "I was worried your analog rig included the control link. 72 megahertz, anyone?" No. But the analog 5-inch and Cinesplore are both on Crossfire. But the analog cinematic Tiny Whoop is on Express LRS, as all Tiny Whoops should be at this point, to be honest. Brandon's Baked Beans says, "Press the thumbs up, you scallywags." So, speaking of Brandon's Baked Beans, he helped me out quite a bit on this Cinesplore tune that was being a little bit unruly. Him and I are realizing, though, mainly him, that the arms on the Cinesplore are just a little bit too thin. They are 3 millimeters, which is really thin. The Cinesplore was really designed as like a no compromises, ultra lightweight Cinewhoop frame. And on certain motor and propeller and duct combos, it does work totally fine with the 3 mil arms. My digital Cinesplore, for whatever reason, on heavier motors, is completely fine. But this lighter weight one, for whatever reason, is just not loving life. I wonder if one of the arms is delaminated. Have I checked that yet? I feel like I've checked that already. Yeah, no, they're not. The arms are fine. It's just, there's just some weirdness. Although this arm does seem to bend a little bit more than the front one there. I'm going to switch out this arm. I have extra arms. No, it doesn't. It was just because it was in my right hand and I was bending it and I was torquing on it more. Yeah, I mean, the rig is fine. I talked to Rugi about it, and he's like, yeah, that happens. We're going to have some 4mm arms cut. He also wants to cut 6mm arms. I don't want that much extra weight. So, yeah, I talked him into 4mm. I think that's all it needs. Not to mention that, like, when you go from 3mm to 4mm, it's a big change, right? Think of the percentage change going from 3 to 4. So, yeah, just going up to 4mm will not make it gain that much weight, and it'll be a significant percentage improvement in the stiffness of the arms. So, yeah, I want to try that first. We'll see. We'll see. With the Brother Hobby VY motors, it was fine for some weird reason. But as soon as I put these more powerful, higher kV motors on, it just started to kind of freak out a little bit. 60 hertz and 80 hertz are where Brandon is seeing spikes, and you can't filter those frequencies. So yeah, if nothing else, the 4mm arms will tell us if the arms are the problem. They better be. If I have a whole bunch of those cut and they don't help the problem, I don't know what else it could be. There's nothing loose on the rig. This antenna is not vibrating at 60 or 80 hertz. Yeah, I don't know what else it could be. And that what Brandon is seeing is not like a bad gyro problem. The stack is mounted totally normal. So yeah, it sort of has to be that. The GoPro mount is rock solid. So yeah, that'll be an interesting little project. Scott FPV says, when I first got into FPV, I had a Caddx Ant and couldn't hardly fly it when I had it recording. It seemed like the latency went through the roof when it started recording. Are you talking about your DVR, Scott? So the camera doesn't record per se. The camera feeds its video into the AIO. The AIO puts the video through the OSD chip, and then it outputs it either to an external VTX, or sometimes the AIO will have a VTX built in. And then that beams it up to your goggles, and then your goggles take that video signal and they send it to the screens, and they also send it to the DVR. I don't know if maybe they put it through the DVR first and then to the screens. So yeah, camera, like a Caddx Ant, will have no difference in latency whether or not the DVR is recording than any other camera. It has nothing to do with the camera itself. The camera's onboard latency, the camera takes light photons into its sensor, puts that through its chipset, fires that out the video wire. Analog cameras have anywhere from like 3 to 12 milliseconds of latency. Usually they're down closer to 3 nowadays. So yeah, a Caddx Ant will have nothing to do with DVR-based latency. I've never heard of DVR-based latency. I guess if the goggles that you had are taking the video signal through the antenna, putting it through the receiver, putting it into the DVR, and then out of the DVR into the screens, I guess that could make sense. I didn't think that's how it worked, though, because I've just never heard anybody talk about more latency with the DVR recording. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I don't really know what to say about that, other than it shouldn't have had anything to do with the camera. It should have had to do with the goggles. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's interesting. P. Richard Scott says, analog for effing life. What's up, homie? Hey, Quad City Bear with another super chat. $2 this time. What's your favorite 5-inch frame? It is still the FPV Cycle Glide. I am considering, I have an Apex frame that was donated by T-Bird, actually. I'm considering putting Betaflight into that. Right now it's got Kiss in it, and it just doesn't work right. it does this really strange thing where like at random it'll hold on to right roll. Like you'll go to do a right roll flip, and it'll just keep, you'll center the stick to end the flip, and it'll just keep flipping. It's very weird. It does it intermittently. Nobody's been able to figure it out, and then I just said, screw this. The KISS doesn't fly good anyway. Why am I wasting my time on this? So yeah, I'm considering pulling the KISS stuff out of that and building it the way that it should be on Betaflight so that it flies better, and seeing how that frame is. I don't know. I have a hard time with these $100 frames. It's just too much money. I guess it's not. I guess it's not too much money because we do want the pilots that are sponsoring these frames to make something, right? But man, like when it's twice as expensive as other really good frames, it's just like, oh, fart. That's a big ask. I'm also starting to get interested in the Quadmula frames. The Siren F3 split I'm super interested in, and then of course now I'm looking at the Siren F5. They're right in between at $75. You know, they're not 100, they're not 50. So yeah, I don't know. I wish they had more arm protection on the ends of the carbon, but if you put TPU on the end of the arm, that will beef that up. What is the Mini? What's the difference between the Mini and the... Oh, I guess is it the rear? Is the rear of the Mini a little bit different? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't know. The Glide frame is just, it's an old frame, and like, yes, it's still being sold, but I don't know. I know when people ask me what 5-inch frame I fly, and I tell them I fly the Glide, they're like, ugh, what? Like they don't want to hear that. Like they that's not the answer that they want. So I don't know. It feels like I should be flying a more recent frame, but I'm still waiting for somebody to make one that I like better than the Glide. Glide's not the perfect frame. It's a frame that works really well if you build super light, 600 to 640 grams or so. But if you go to like 650 and up, which is really easy to have happen nowadays with the you know, we can't get sessions anymore. Still get them on eBay, but yeah, the GoPro Heroes are heavy as hell. Even the Hero 11 Mini is heavy as hell. So yeah, it's interesting. Quad City Bear with another $5 super chat. He says frame really doesn't matter like flight controller and motors, correct? For sure. As long as the frame as long as the frame is half decent, I'll say, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The frame is, it makes more of a difference in like livability and like quality of life stuff. 3-ish years ago, frame designers really kind of figured it out, and they started making frames that resist vibrations enough for you to get a really decent PID tune, really low latency on the filtering. Yes, frames have continued to get better in that respect, but there are so many things that make a frame good. And their ability to deal with vibrations from the motors and props is just one of those like 15 things. So yeah, and everybody is going to have their own, everybody is going to have a frame that works best for them. Everybody is flying a different all-up weight. They're crashing into different stuff. They're crashing different amounts. They've got totally different components on the builds. So the frame that I like the best very well could not be the frame that you like the best, any of you. It is a pretty subjective, pretty specific kind of thing that it's a pain in the ass to dial in on, right? Like frames are kind of expensive and they take a long time to put together and then put all of your electronics in. So finding the right frame for you, it's tough. because you kind of have to just try a few. Like, yeah, there's just it's a lengthy process. It took me years, literally years, to settle on a good frame, a frame that I fell in love with, and I've probably tried 20 different 5-inch frames over the years to get to that point. So yeah, it's a tough process, but it's kind of a fun process, I guess. I'm sure it's not fun for everyone. Kevin Sumner put a light over his workbench. He loves lamp. It is a game changer, man. Having a proper lighting on your workspace is, yeah, it's the jam. Let me scroll back up here and get caught up on chat. Freeload, dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. Jules FPV says, should I change the motor wires on the BetaFPV 0702 30,000 kV for better flight performance? They feel thin and they get warm but not hot after flying. I don't think so. Every single tiny whoop motor I've ever seen, which is a lot, have had 30 gauge wires on the motors, and I've never noticed them get warm. That's interesting. I should check that. But yeah, I don't think you should need to change them. I kind of want to check that right now, actually. Because if so, wires getting warm but not hot is usually okay, but that warmth is, that is a loss of electricity, which obviously we don't want. And so, yeah, it's an interesting thought. I mean, we're to the point where the
welcome to OpenTX.
We're looking for smaller things to gain us more performance with tiny whoops. Like, we've found a lot of the big things. I think mainly we've figured out the right motor sizing and the right motor KV. At this point, yeah, the gains are going to get much smaller, which is a good thing. That means that we're refining. Okay, so let's go into turtle mode so we can fire up just one motor. We're going to fire up the right front motor. I'm just going to hold these 3 motor wires. I don't feel any heat in these motor wires. Yeah, I don't feel any heat in those motor wires, not even a little bit. If your motor wires are getting hot, and these are 32,000 kV, if your motor wires are getting hot, I have a feeling your tune might be overactive. Turtle mode is nice because it doesn't run the PID loop. The reason I didn't just do that test when it was armed is because that would be running the PID loop, and if your tune is overactive, the PID loop is going to try to drive and then break the motor. But it's going to try to do that like 4,000 to 8,000 times a second. And that is a great way to get everything hot. But like that is a situation where the motor wires can get hot. And that's a situation that you can fix with your filtering and your tune. So yeah, if the motor wires don't get... So take that rig, do what I just did, go to turtle mode, fire one motor up a bunch to full throttle, and if your motor wires are still getting hot, then... Well, they're not... You said they're not getting hot, they're getting warm. Yeah, if the motor wires are still getting warm, then your tune is probably fine. Your filters are probably fine. If all of a sudden they're not getting warm, like mine, yeah, look at your tune. Back your tune off a little bit, because I think that you've then found the reason that those motor wires are getting hot is just, yeah, the tune is asking too much of them. What you want to remember is when the motor drives and then brakes, drives and then brakes, drives and then brakes, the amount of airflow to cool that motor down and to cool the wires down, come to think of it, is compromised because it's spending twice as much energy, right? It's probably even worse than that because it's expending like 100% to drive it, and then it's expending God knows how much to brake it. And then it's got to re-accelerate the motor. So it's more than like having, I think, the amount of power that it can make and the amount of heat that it's going to make. So yeah, try to get that sorted out because that's a big, it causes a lot of issues when you've got motors that are not happy like that, and they're trying to speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down all the time. It's going to kill your runtime. It's going to kill your performance. It's a bad situation. So yeah, do that test. See if you're still getting heat in the wires. I don't know. Maybe BetaFPV really does use like microscopically thin or just like really shit quality wires. I don't know. I don't have any of their 0702s. They were supposed to send me some, but then I kind of dropped the ball. I do want to test them though. I almost ordered a set the other night, but I don't know. I feel like if their motors were really good, more people would be talking about them. They've been out for a while. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from anybody that their motors are like making more power than the Happy models or anything like that. I love the fact that their 702 30,000s do have ball bearings. That is interesting to me. Although the newbie drone, oh god, you stink, dog. Oh boy. Come here. I want to show the people, but I'm taking one for the team on this one for the record. Come here, buddy. Come here. Get over here. I'm taking one on the nose. Literally on the nose for you guys so you can see this adorable dog. Oh, God. He goes outside and roots around the leaves and shit and just stinks. He'll get a bath and then he'll go right outside and he'll just stink worse than he did before the bath. It's ridiculous. Look at you, dog. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to chop you up into little pieces. What is going on with your... Stop it. Stop eating. Stop biting. Oh! What's happening? Oh! Oh! What's happening here? Are your hairs getting extra long, or is this... What is this? Stop biting me. Are these your hairs? All right, these are getting all unruly. He loves running through the tiny whoop gates, though. So yeah, hopefully I was at the end of a thought there. CiottiFPV says, I think I had the name wrong. It was a split camera that had onboard recording. Gotcha. Yeah, the latency is always bad on those. I thought it was a Caddx amp. My bad. No worries, brother. Brandon Bean says, I've seen that bug on Kiss. Matty Fleisch stumbled on a fix, if I remember correctly. Ah, very cool. I don't really care because Beta Flight is better, but it's good that there is a fix. Thank God. Quad City Barrier again. Thanks for the super chats. The last super chat, frame really doesn't matter. Like flight controller motor is correct. Yeah, I mean flight controller doesn't even really matter either. If a flight controller is working, it's great. Motors and propellers. That's it. Motors and propellers, and then battery. Not in that order. Propellers are the most important. Motors next most important. Battery next most important. Frame. This is from a flight characteristic standpoint. Okay. Propellers, motors, battery, frame. ESC. Trying to think if the ESC or the flight controller would be next. I think ESC would be next, and then flight controller would be kind of last. Kind of depends, though. I mean, the ESC and the flight controller, like, if they're working, it's really not going to fly different. And then like if you have a 60 amp ESC and then a 20 amp ESC, if the 20 amp ESC is working and it's not desyncing and falling out of the air, it's not going to perform any different than the 60 amp. And even on a 5-inch rig, you really only need like 25 to 30 amps. This insanity of like 50, 60, 65 amp ESCs is just silly. It doesn't really accomplish anything. It sells more ESCs because they sound like they're better, but they don't fly any different. You could make the argument that they have more headroom, so like as they get older, they might last a little longer, but they might not. Because a lot of times ESCs just fail. They don't like slowly get worse. They just fail all at once when you drop them off a 20-story building to the concrete. So yeah, spending $100 on like a 65 amp ESC is not the best idea, because after you batter the shit out of it, it's not going to be any more durable, really. So yeah, and then the flight controller, the main thing is just like what gyro does it have on it. Most of them don't have electrical noise problems anymore, and the gyro has a lot to do with how they're going to handle vibrations and shit like that. So yeah. Jay says, I've only flown tiny and micro whoops. Should I jump directly to 5-inch or go something like 3 to 3.5 inch? It depends on where you have to fly and where you want to fly, Jay. 5-inch rigs are the right tool for flying in big spaces. They can go 100 miles an hour. They're heavy as hell, so they can carry a bunch of weight. So if you've got like a big spot where you want to fly, like football field and bigger, a 5-inch rig is awesome. A 5-inch rig is going to shrink that giant location down and let you do a lot of the same moves that you're doing with a tiny whoop in the house. Your house is a small little space, so we fly a small little quad, and we can do all kinds of wacky shit. If you're looking to fly in your parking lot, for example, and your parking lot only has 20 parking spaces, a 5-inch is going to be way too big and way too dangerous for that. That's what you want a 3-inch rig for. So yeah, it really depends on location, to be really honest. That in my opinion is the best way to choose what size rig that you're flying. And it's just a situation of like, there's a right tool for every job, right? This is the right tool for flying inside the house. A 75 millimeter tiny whoop is the right tool for flying outside around a jungle gym. Jungle gyms are small, tight spaces, but you've got wind and other stuff outside, and there are trees around the jungle gyms usually, and it is fun to play with those trees. So the 65 millimeter whoops are just a little bit too lightweight and small for jungle gym bashing. Parking lot bashing, 3-inch rigs are awesome. Big field bashing, 5-inch rigs are king. You could kind of make the argument that a 5-inch rig they fly so much better that they're a better choice for general like outdoor flying. Yeah, it's just they're dangerous as hell. Like you could really hurt somebody with one, or you could hurt property. You can significantly damage property and owe someone quite a bit of money. A 3-inch rig really helps with that. So yeah, those are the ways that I would decide. Off Axis says, if I could, I would send you a RVS Mopax. What the hell's an RVS Mopax? What say you, Google? Oh, that's a frame. What is this? Who is RVS? Rotor Village. Oh, interesting. RVS, Rotor Village something. So it looks like it's Rotor Village's 5-inch frames. Kind of interesting looking. It's got the A-arm thing going on here, which is kind of cool. It looks heavy though. It looks really, really heavy. You gotta wait for me. Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, that is a fucking yeah. Look at that, yo. That is a really cool little. I guess that's a GIF. Oh, interesting. It's only got 6 standoffs. It's only got 6 vertical standoffs. They skipped the third set of standoffs. I wonder how it crashes. So your battery is on the top plate here, and when you crash inverted, it pushes the battery really hard into the top plate. And I'm scared that there's not that third set of standoffs here to support those inverted crashes when that battery pushes really hard on the top plate. That's kind of scary. I think this is a really heavy frame. Hold on, let's see. So the base plate, no, maybe not. The base plate is 2 millimeters. Mid plate is 2.5. Top plate is 2.5. Arms are 6 mil. That's too thick. No weight. But with 6 millimeter arms, my guess is this frame is going to be about 150 grams. And in my opinion, that's just way too heavy. It's also a vertical carbon camera plate frame, so you can't change the height of these standoffs in accordance with the stack that you're going to run. So you can't like slam it on 15 millimeter standoffs or put it up onto 30 millimeter standoffs if for some reason you've got a ton of stack height. So I don't love that. I really wish there was a weight on this frame. Without a weight, I just will not buy a frame. Like it's insulting to me that there's no weight on this frame. Like that is arguably the most important thing. It's actually not, but yeah. God, is that annoying that there's no weight. Maybe on Rotor Village's website there's going to be a weight here. Or not. Hold on. I would also like to see how the arms lock together. Hey! It's almost like I know a thing or two. Every once in a while, it's almost like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's way too heavy for me. You know, that's 50 extra grams over the glide frame. And I'm really worried that there's not that third set of standoffs here. I have a funny feel. And like this top plate, like it's great that it's 2.5 millimeters rather than 2 millimeters, which is what the glide top plates are. But yeah, that extra 0.5 millimeter, I don't know if that's really enough to keep this top plate from exploding on really hard inverted crashes. Trying to look at the arm lock up here in this awesome little GIF. So it looks like this part of the arm here is going to butt up against the arm on the other side. I don't like this, though. This is not braced against anything here. And that's usually not a good idea with arm connection points to not have them physically braced against another piece of carbon. Basically what we've seen with many frames. Now, and it might be different because this is an A-arm design. But what we see in other frames when you do this and you have an arm mounting point that is not pushing up against another piece of carbon is that the vibrations, the constant vibrations from these arms will like wallow out this hole, and it'll like open up this hole, and then the arm will start to wobble. And it looks like they did that on both the front and the rear. Maybe not, again, because it's got the A-arm design, but that kind of scares me a little bit. You know, if the frame is going to weigh 150 grams, that's really heavy. It should be, like, everything should be braced like absolute crazy if it's going to be that fat. But they've spent the weight in other places. Like they've really beefed up the shit out of this front camera cage with double carbon fiber on either side. So yeah, interesting looking frame, but there's a couple things that make me kind of pause about it. Main thing I don't like about it though is that it's got vertical carbon camera plates up front. I do not like that. It locks you into whatever deck height that they've decided that you're going to run. And I don't like that. I like frames to be more configurable. But that's just me. That's just me. It's probably a really good frame. It's got some cool stuff going on. And it's got good motor protection on the ends of the arms, which I absolutely love. I really wish the arms weren't 6mm. 6mm thick arms are basically going to be damn near indestructible. Your motors are anything but indestructible, though. So this is probably a frame where the arms are never going to break, but you're going to break shitloads of motors, which I don't like that. I would rather break a $4 arm than a $24 motor. But again, that's just me. That is just me. I've never even heard of that frame though, so thank you for calling that one out. I always like seeing new products that I didn't know existed, so that I can know that they exist, like a good live streamer should. Nope. YouTube just did the thing. Jules FPV with a £6 super chat. He says, thanks. You're certainly welcome. Thank you for supporting the insanity. Scott FPV says it was a Caddx Turtle V2. My bad. No worries, brother. Yeah, all of those split cameras are a mess. Quad City Bay Area says, my favorite frame is the Marmotte and the Skyliner. No offense, Quad City Bay Area, but there are much better frames in 2023 than both of those. The Marmotte is a really old school frame design. That's like circa 2018, 2017 frame design. The worst part about the Marmotte is that it's a solid base plate. So every single time you break an arm, you're gonna have to swap the base plate out, which is just such a pain in the ass. Like you should not have to work that hard to keep a rig in the air. Like you're spending a lot of time on that. The other problem with the Marmotte is it does not deal with vibrations very well. Because it is a solid base plate, it's got the carbon fiber going in 45 degrees. The carbon fiber strands are going 45 degrees the wrong direction on the arms. So the arms are just weak. For the thickness and for the width of the arms compared to a proper removable arm frame with the carbon fiber weave going in the proper direction, the Marmotte is going to be very heavy. And it's going to be both heavy and weak. If you go to a removable arm frame with proper orientation of the carbon, it's going to be both lighter and stronger, believe it or not. And it's going to handle vibrations a lot better. So next time that Marmotte frame breaks, I would recommend getting the replacement, because the lifetime warranty from Armatan is probably why you bought that frame in the first place. When you get the replacement, sell it. Do not continue to take that whole thing apart and swap base plates when the arms break. Sell that frame, get some of your money back out of it, and move to a much more modern frame. You're going to have something that's lighter, flies better, is easier to work on. Like, all things are going to get better for you. The Skyliner is a little bit better. At least you get removable arms. But the Skyliner frame is, much like most of Rotor Riot frames, it's needlessly heavy. There are locations on frames that don't deal with a lot of force and a lot of energy. And in those areas, it makes a lot of sense to cut the carbon out to lighten the frame up a little bit. If there's no reason to have carbon there, if having extra carbon in a location does not help with anything, it should be removed. And and whoever's designing Rotor Riot's frames didn't seem to get that memo, and they're just making these frames that have slabs of carbon. The argument that they give is that they like the way that their builds fly when they're really heavy. Well, I would rather cut the carbon out and save weight where it doesn't help anything, and then run a bigger battery, because then you've got the same weight, but you've got more runtime. So yeah, the Skyliner is definitely the better of those two frames, but not many people fly it. that aren't sponsored by it, because of a lot of those reasons. So yeah, if you want a rig that's going to be lighter, that you can, yeah, if you like the way that it flies heavy, you can run a bigger battery and get more runtime. The Apex frame is kind of roundly regarded right now as like the best of the money no object frames. If you want that extra arm thickness, the arms are 5.5 millimeters thick, which is plenty strong for even heavier builds. And then there's the Quadmula Siren F5 is, I've heard a lot of really good things about that frame. And there's a couple others that I'm not thinking about. The Demibot bot grinder's frame is really strong, but intelligently designed with cutouts where they should be, because it was designed by Omagod, who understands these concepts. And I'm sure I'm missing one or two others. The AOS frames are really interesting. They don't seem to be very durable. I see so many pictures of broken AOS arms. So if you're crashing a lot, the AOS frames are probably not the best choice. If your focus is on like long range, or you just don't crash a lot, the AOS frames are going to be great. They're going to isolate the stack from vibrations better than anything else. So yeah, next, as you continue to smash those frames, at some point think about swapping, because you can get significantly better performance from some more recent, more modern, more... The Skyliner frame is pretty recent and pretty modern, but I feel bad saying this, but I don't know how else to say it. It's just not all that well thought out, in my opinion. That's kind of a harsh thing to say, because I'm sure that a bunch of thought went into it, but there are just some glaring problems with it. Mainly that there's just no cutouts anywhere in the carbon, and that's just silly. Sorry. But yeah. Jules FPV with this. Oh no, we got that. Professor Biohazard says, been fighting intermittent oscillation issues for 6+ months, starting to think it's frame resonance. Source 1 V5, one of the stack/arm screws seems bent. Culprit found. Maybe? But I've never been super impressed by any of the Source 1 frames. So could still be frame resonance. I'm not sure. Obviously fix that that screw and see if it gets better. But yeah, I'm not sure. Jason Crabtree says, I was catching up. When did you choose to fly them analog versus the digital Cinesplore? It's like a 4 or 5 minute conversation. Just rewind and watch it. Or Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper at the end of this live stream at some point we'll do timestamps, and then within a day or two there'll be a timestamp up where you can go straight to that. Off Axis says, great strong 5-inch frame I fly, and sponsored by RVS. Very cool. Yeah, it definitely looks solid. Other than a couple of the little things that I called out there, but yeah, it does look like a solid frame. Brandon's Baked Bean says, YouTube did the thing. He said, you can take out those camera plates and use whatever you want for TPU too. Was there a front set of standoffs? Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, if they designed it like that on purpose, then I can see that. But it's scary. Well, so a couple things. When a frame designer designs the front of the frame around vertical carbon fiber plates, okay, so one of the things that I do like about the vertical carbon camera mount plates in the front is that they box the frame in really well. They provide almost an infinite amount of stiffness in this direction. So put it up on the wall. So when you come down at an angle like this, and you've got all this GoPro weight, you hit like this and it digs in. The top plate and the GoPro, they want to keep moving forward, right? And so there's a whole bunch of energy that happens on those crashes. The vertical camera plates are going to sit like this in there, and they're going to have big wide slots. And so when that happens, those vertical camera plates are just, like I said, infinitely strong. They're not going to break in that direction. So it becomes really, really strong like that. Versus just regular old standoffs, you just don't have that. Like, they're very strong, and I don't really run into that problem very often. But the camera plates make that situation a lot better in that axis. In this axis sideways, they're not quite as strong, but I still think they're maybe just as, if not potentially stronger than just regular old aluminum standoffs. So when a frame designer is designing a frame using the vertical camera plates, they're not dealing with forces. If you then remove those vertical camera plates and you just run the standoffs, what my worry is that it's going to be weak, because you're taking away a really, really strong structural element. And it worries me that without that, you're going to run into problems. I doubt, so like, if they've tested it, if they've set the frame up to use or not use it, I get it. But I've never actually seen that. I've never actually seen a manufacturer say, hey, we're giving you these carbon fiber plates. If you want your stack height to be 20 millimeters, you can use them. But we've also designed the frame to not need them if you want to change up your stack mounting height. I would not think that this is a frame that's the case, because like when I look at the base plate here, by removing these, this is going to be the front of your base plate, and this is just going to explode. Like this is not great. And then yeah, this is the front of your top plate. I mean, it might be covered up by a GoPro mount of some sort, but yeah, I would not want this to be the forward facing part of my base plate, right? Every single time you scrape this thing on the ground without this front camera plate, it's going to wear away at this really quickly and just absolutely explode. So I would not want to run this frame without these vertical camera plates. Technically, sure, you could do it, but I wouldn't think that it would hold up all that well. It doesn't really have a chin, essentially, because the chin is meant to be this camera cage here. So yeah, I don't know, but I could be wrong. The other thing that I question running this without this is going to be this cutout in the top plate. You're probably going to have top plate in view of the camera, right? So if you run your TPU loops back here, the camera is going to be mounted in the middle here, and there's just not a deep enough cutout in the top plate here. So you're with any substantial amount of up tilt, this is probably going to be in view, and that's going to drive you nuts, because it's going to be on the top. It's just going to like cut the top of your frame out, and you're not going to be able to like look up, right, and see. Like, if you want to go fast, you're going to put the nose down, you're going to be looking up at the carbon. So yeah, I would not recommend that. And it, like I said, it doesn't look like they've designed this to work with and without it. I would think that if they had, they would like advertise that, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's, I've always kind of wondered about, oh wow. So I just noticed they've got, one of the reasons why this thing is so heavy is it looks like they've got a big fat chunk of carbon in the middle here. One of the things that I've talked to Ryan Harrell about a bunch with frame design is that like you got to be really careful with your arms, because the arms are the significantly thicker carbon than everything else, right? So like one of Ryan's sort of design principles is to make the arms as minimal as possible, because they are just this massively thick carbon, and then anywhere else that you can beef up, where it's 2 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter, you can add a lot more carbon when it's, a third as thick or a half as thick, right? this chunk here this is crazy. I would think that there would be a way to chop here and chop here and remove this massive thick ass center chunk of carbon to save weight, and then maybe put like another set of screw holes or something like that here to brace this. Yeah, I don't love this. This is one of the reasons that this frame is so heavy. You've got a 6mm beam of carbon down the center here, and I doubt that this center section here is really doing much, if anything, to like. So that's the other thing, right? Like when you're dealing with the thickest carbon, you want every little millimeter of it to be adding strength. This big center chunk here, I don't really see that adding much strength. I understand why it's there. It's to connect the front and rear parts that brace in with the arms to lock the arms in. I like that, but man, that seems like an awful lot of 6mm carbon down the center of this thing. That's not. There's not. I don't know. There's not much force in the center there, but I don't know. Every frame design is different, but yeah, I don't know. Too heavy for me, too fat for me. But more frames is always, more different frame designs are always better. To continue to try to figure out what the hell's going on with these things. Hey, look at this. I stumbled across this on Facebook. Super, super cool stuff. This is somebody that is designing this tiny hoop frame, Philip Aquino. And this is him. I don't know. This is just cool. It's just cool to see this FEA analysis on tiny whoops, because I just don't feel like we really get this very often. And yeah, he's showing how much force it takes to push a regular tiny whoop frame into the propeller blades. And then he's comparing that to his tiny hoop, which seems to do a better job at that. This is a much bigger frame design here, and it's more like a toothpick than an actual tiny whoop. But yeah, super interesting stuff here, and I just thought it was neat to see the Meteor 65 duct take some force, and we can also kind of see, on these Meteor 65 frames, one of the things that we've talked about is that crease. We see that crease showing up right around here, and it's interesting to see when force is applied here, it looks like it's actually bending the most here and here. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting. So I kept it opened in a tab for all you fellas to see. Here's the link if you want to dive in and read more. Kind of cool stuff. Not kind of cool, definitely cool. Brandon's Big Bean says, for the first 2 months running the AOS Long Range 5, I had taken out the plates and just ran TPU pod for the O3. Yeah, that's another thing you can do, run a full TPU chunk up front. It kind of worries me. TPU is also very heavy. Kevin Sumner says, Demibot, Jinx, Quad City Barrier with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. You pissed on my fleet. It's okay. I'm a newbie. My other is Freak Style. 3-inch is Apex and Gecko LOL. Yeah, I hate to, like, I really do. Like, when you guys say, like, oh, I have so-and-so, and I know it's not great, like, it's always hard for me to be like, oh, you're an idiot. Like, and that's not at all what I'm saying. Everybody is on their own path to find the perfect frame for them. There are frames that I don't think are perfect for anyone. And those are the frames that I go in kind of hard on. And yeah, I don't like it. Like, I hate to have to do that, but it's for your own good, so I'm willing to do it, under the assumption that you guys are going to not take it personally. When you're new, you don't know what the fuck to buy. You just close your eyes and you point, and the approach needs to be that it's just a huge learning phase, right? Like, and you need to really work hard to not take shit like that personally. Just in general, right? Like in general in life, like you're gonna fuck things up, you're gonna buy the wrong thing, you're gonna do the wrong thing, you're gonna say the wrong thing. Those are the moments where you learn the most. And so you want to have a lot of those moments, because if you just get shit right all the time, you're not going to really get much better. You have to get stuff wrong in order to get better. So, yeah, but it's hard, man. Like, ego is a real thing, and we all struggle with it, myself included. And so, yeah, it's tough. But I try to preface that stuff as much as I can. But yeah, life lessons all over the damn place in FPV, believe it or not. And yeah, learn what you like about it, learn what you don't like about it, and then the next time you buy something, you're going to make a better decision. But you're still not going to get it right. Like I said, it took me probably 20 plus frames to find the one that like I absolutely fell in love with. Hopefully it doesn't take you guys that long. You know, that back in my day, we didn't have resources like we do today. So I think it's a lot easier to pick a really good frame nowadays. But it's still, yeah, you still have to find, it's still a very personal decision, and that makes it very difficult. Because everybody flies differently, crashes differently, does different things with their flight footage, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, you learn what you can, you roll the dice, and you just try to be as realistic and not have that the financial side of it cloud your judgment, which is hard. Again, it's hard as hell to do. Brandon McBean says run a larger print pod and it moves the camera forward, and less props too. Also can give crash protection to the frame. What's his name has some great designs. There are some really good TPU camera pod designs that I've seen on Thingiverse. They're just not my thing. Oh, wow, it's super weird that you linked to this one, Brandon. I just saw this for the first time last night. I was looking for AOS 35 stuff, and I stumbled across this. I really like... There's a lot of things that I really, really do like about this front TPU pod. I cannot possibly imagine that this would be durable enough for how hard and often that I crash. Maybe it is, but I just can't. I can't imagine that. It's yeah. I would rip this right the fuck off. Like the violence from the front end collisions that I put through 5-inch rigs is just absurd. So yeah, I again, maybe I'm wrong, but seeing like with what I do to carbon, TPU is just not, it's just not going to do it. Like, I love that TPU is going to bend and absorb some of the energy, and I'm sure that that'll help, but yeah, I would just rip this thing right the hell off. I hope I'm wrong though. This is cool. He's got a million different frames that he supports, and so you pick your you pick the frame, you pick your up tilt, you pick the wall size, thick walls or thin walls, camera position, farther forward, farther back, and then he's even got vibration isolation options for where the camera mount is. Really, really, really cool stuff. Like this is probably the best of these TPU front camera pod designs on the whole of the internet. But it just terrifies me, man. It just terrifies me to have a camera held on the front with just TPU. I just don't see it. I would so much rather have carbon fiber vertical plates and just suck up the fact that you can't adjust your deck height. But yeah, this is really, really cool stuff. I'm I'm very impressed by this. The thing I love the most, to be honest, is the fact that he obviously has some sort of photography experience. That we call this a tulip lens hood in the still photography world. This is how all this is what all camera holders should look like, because this gives you the maximum amount of protection. The way that a camera lens in the corners, in the diagonals, has a really wide field of view. On the top and the sides, it doesn't have nearly as wide of a field of view. So you can design all camera holders like this, which is going to give you the maximum amount of protection, top, bottom, left, and right, but still not give you any of the mount in the actual camera view. So I really love this. This perfectly shows it here. This little image, this shows you what the camera's field of view actually does look like. So there's a lot to love about this 3D printed front mount thing. I just don't think it's for me. I get so weird that I just stumbled across that literally last night. That's super, super, super weird. CiottiFPV says, I'm really liking the QAVS. That's the one that I was forgetting, the QAVS. The QAVS, Joshua's design, or the regular old QAVS. That's another really good frame, really good current frame. Security Curtis says, do you still recommend your Menace RC antennas? Very much so. Menace RC Antennas here in the US don't get a lot of attention because they are a company over in Europe. But yeah, Menace antennas I've used forever, and they've always held up really well and just, yeah, worked. And I've seen testing with them, and they've always done really well. Chick with a stick, getting all eggplanty because of my hair. Quad City Barrier with a $2 super chat. He says, hard question. Do you like building or flying more? Building is is hands down my least favorite part of FPV. Flying is my favorite part of FPV. Right? Yeah. So we're least and most favorite right there. Off Axis says, I could print those mounts so they don't break, guaranteed. But then they're going to be really heavy, right? To like print with zero infill, to where they're totally unbreakable, they're going to be way heavier than carbon fiber plates. So yeah, that kind of disqualifies them for my picky ass. It's 4:35 and we haven't done anything yet other than answer awesome questions in the chat. So let's get to my least favorite part of FPV, which is building and repairing. There was a time where I just hated repairing and I was okay with building, but at this point, I just everything that happens here makes me want to scream and piss my pants. So yeah, let's take this front duct off, and then that'll give me good access to the pads that to the video pads, the camera pads. And we'll swap the camera out here first, and then we will fix the BT 2.0 lead. So here we go with this. I might as well just unplug this motor, get it out of the way. And all right, so I got to get this existing camera out of here, which is sometimes a little bit difficult. Sometimes I can kind of get it. These Fractal 3D printed pieces here just need to be, so it's like a piece like this, and then that, a big long piece like this on this hand, and then like a little pad on the end here, and then it goes through a little slot in the frame. So you just gotta like kind of push it sideways to release it from the little slot. And then you can usually just kind of push it through. Or you can just cut the damn things, and they do send you an extra one. But I've switched this enough times where I don't really have many extras left. So there we go. I got one of the little notches pulled through. Just want to be careful doing this that you don't grip onto any components and rip them off. What's that clicking sound? It didn't sound great. No, we're good. Come on now, get in there. Get in there, little buddy. This frame is challenging to work on. Love the camera angle, though. My God, do I love the camera angle. All right, almost there. Just got to get this other little piece of TPU smashed through here. Through the slot. Hey, there we go. And now I think this Caddx Ant is a slightly bigger camera, so that'll be nice. That'll make this little G-string that you use to mount the camera on these frames a little bit tighter, and maybe it'll hold the camera a little bit better. One of my main complaints about the Fractal frame is that the camera is just kind of floppy up front. Like it just doesn't, it's not super solidly mounted in there, so it's very easy to have the camera cocked sideways or even rotated sideways, and it's just yeah, that makes flying very difficult. If you've ever flown with a camera that's not perfectly straightforward and perfectly level, man, it's a kind of a nightmare. So try to avoid that at all costs, my friends. So we've got a camera pad here. I think these pads are really well labeled. Yeah, cam, and then ground up in the corner, and then 5-volt. Yep, they're really well marked, so I don't have to worry about forgetting where they are. Let's just get a little tiny bit of flux going on here. Okay. Just a tiny little bit. Soldering iron is up to temperature. Let's get this mystery camera off of here and get the Caddx Ant soldered on. I'm going to grab tweezers here so that I can make sure that I'm able to pull on these wires to get them right off. There we go. This video. Ground, and there's voltage. Voltage, I've heard it called, with a W. All right, so yeah. Does anybody have a Tiny Whoop pinch cam? Can you take a look at this and tell me if you think this is a Tiny Whoop pinch cam? That is what the chip layout looks like. I don't think there's a on the picture on Tiny Whoop's website of the pinch camera. I don't think there's a picture of the back of it. So yeah, I'm kind of relying on one of you that might have a Tiny Whoop pinch cam to take a look at that. If none of you have it, it's fine. Or if you're too lazy to do it, it's fine. Because I don't know, I'm not. Maybe this is a much better camera for outdoors, but I'm not impressed with that. In the lighting situation that I'm in at Altitude Raceway, which is it is a weird lighting situation there, to be completely honest. I almost just saw something shiny and started working on this. No, do the whole camera, do all the camera work, you dummy, and then move on. So somebody please type into chat red, black, yellow. That is outside to inside. I'm going to replace the 30 gauge wires on this Caddx Ant because right now it's got a perfectly good newbie drone camera plug on it, and there's really no reason to cut this camera plug up, especially because these newbie drone camera plugs use stupid PVC wire insulation. So yeah, I'm not gonna do any more work than I have to with those. I always try to take those off if at all possible, just because that insulation is a nightmare to deal with. All right, there's a little bit of flux on there. I'm going to try to pop all three of these free at once. Awesome. All right, cool. So we got that. This is just going to be direct wired, so I can just grab a few 30 gauge wires here. I should have some. This disgusting pile of them here. Let's see if I've got. Yep. Here's some red. orange with a little connector on it. There's some black. All I need is, I could use this green. But if I have a yellow, I want to use yellow. Yellow is the universal wire color for video. There's orange. That's kind of close. There's another green. No, that yellow is hooked up to another. Okay. We're just going to use... green, actually. Be fine. Ah! Get out of there. Come on. Okay. Pile of wires just making me cringe. I mean, I could, or maybe what I'll do is put a little connector in here. That would be a smart thing to do. I mean, as much as I just want to wire it direct and just have it be the most simple, clean thing ever. Yeah, I'm just going to wire it direct. Fuck that. Fuck the connector. Because all these different cameras use different connectors anyway. So, like, having a connector on there is only going to... Yeah, it's not really going to help me much. And it is pretty quick to just chomp these out of here. I'm going to have to wear the nerd goggles for sure. Whoopster says, you should join Infinity Loop's challenge. It's nowhere near like iGao. There are no points, and there's no time limit to complete them. And there's no point system, and you can wait until all of them are out. Then you can do it. I'm just not... what's up, Jay Jones? I'm just not a competitive person. I got all of the competitiveness out of my system when I was into motorsports. I saw the bad that it can bring into stuff. Like when people get competitive, they get kind of shitty sometimes. And so, yeah, I'm just not really into the whole competition thing. It also feels weird for me to like compete in FPV stuff. Like it feels like I'm taking away the opportunity for someone else to win. I don't know. It just, I just don't like it. And in life, I try my, like, if there's things that I don't have to do that I don't like, I will just typically not do them. So yeah, I don't know. I would rather like let somebody else sort of more deserving win. I don't know, it just feels weird. Like, oh, look, a professional FPV pilot won. No, great. Thanks a lot, asshole. You know, like, it just doesn't feel right. I enter the Rampage micro competition every year because every year I get a message from Stacy, hey, can you put an edit in? Nobody's really putting edits into the micro competition. And yeah. And I think every year I've won that so far, which... Every year it feels a little bit more weird to win that Rampage micro competition. Like it just, I don't know. Nobody gets pissed or anything, but it just feels weird, man. So yeah, I don't know. Probably just me being weird. I'm probably just the one that's being weird, but yeah. Oh man, this green wire is copper on the inside. I don't love that, but whatever. It's fine. It's probably fine. I don't need... These are fairly small pads, so I'm going to keep the exposed bits of wire very, very short on these. All right, we got green. Red action here. I'm cutting these really short because it's such a short run from the AIO to the camera. Should be able to get away with it. All right. Come on, get in there. There we go. All right, red's looking good. Although I am actually going to cut this down just a little bit. Don't need that much exposed wire. There we go. That looks a little better. And then we've got a little tiny black wire here. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, my hair is currently stuck in the lamp above my head. That hurt. And okay. All right. Had a really interesting conversation with my dad about stripping wires with your fingernails. There is a problem with stripping wires with your fingernails, and what the problem is that it flattens out the bundle of wires. Apparently, you don't want that. You want to try to leave the inner strands of wire in whatever little bundle that they're currently in. But I don't know. It's kind of a situation where like using your fingernail ensures that you don't nick any of the inner strands of wire, which is good, but then you flatten out the bundle of wires. If you use a tool to strip the wires, there's a much higher chance that you'll nick the wire. So it's kind of a situation where, to me, like a big part of how you build is like efficiency and just time. You want to spend as little time as possible, and stripping wires with your fingernails is pretty damn quick. Stripping it with a tool is never going to be as fast, and it opens up the possibility for nicking the wires. So I don't know. I will probably continue to use my fingernails just from like an efficiency and it's always worked really well standpoint. But yeah, I will start talking about the fact that it's not the perfect way to do it. There's a lot of stuff that we do that we're not doing the perfect way, but you know, we're doing it sort of a more realistic way, with it being understood that we're going to smash the shit out of these things and just have to come back and do it all over again in a couple of weeks. And that's real, you know, like that's real life there. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put 100 hours into a quad build if you're going to then go smash the shit out of it. That is a good way to get like demoralized with building and just quit altogether, because you just keep pouring all this time in for what? If you're doing like a cinematic build or a long range build or something like that, okay, now it's more of a kind of thing. But for these freestyle builds, in my opinion at least, you want to limit the amount of work and time that you're spending on the bench, because it's just going to end up right back at that bench before you know it, in need of repair. But everybody has to kind of, you know, draw that line for themselves. Whoopster says, everybody wins if you just submit it, but that's if you complete them all, but everyone can win if they just submit them. Yeah, the trick is just basically like finding the time. I find it really difficult to find. Yeah, time management is absolutely the hardest thing for me. Like, there's so many things that I want to do, but yeah, I have to do the things that I'm best at, that I think you guys will like the most, and that I can like realistically get done. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Hey, what was it? What was it? Red, black, yellow? Was it red, black, yellow? Did anybody type it into chat for me? Red, black, yellow. Thank you, Whoopster. Red, black, yellow. Off Axis says it's always red, black, yellow for the camera. Is it really? I never noticed that. I kind of just assume that there's no standardization whatsoever anywhere, since that is typically the case. That's typically the correct. But if all cameras are red, black, yellow, I fucking love that. That is awesome to have any amount of standardization anywhere in FPV. I mean, anywhere, period, not just in FPV, right? I feel like we in the world, we really lack standardization. All right, red first. And woo! These pads are tiny. Get this soldering iron tip cleaned off here. And I'll try to do it on the close-up cam. No promises, though. Oh my god, this is gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it on the cam. I'll try though. I have to use tweezers for all three. Hold on. Choke up on this and get up on here. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. So I've got it tacked on. Now I want to try to get it flattened out. I'll try to sit it down a little bit more. So there we go. There we go. Much better. All right. Red. Now we got black. For whatever reason, sometimes it just works better to like get it tacked on, and then you can change positions on the wire with your tweezers, and then just come in and hit it one more time real quick. I hate to have to hit wires twice like that. You want to try to not rework them if at all possible, but I think it's better to get it in the exact right position and to have to rework it once. That is based in nothing. I'm not an electrical engineer. That is bro science right there at its finest. Literally me like, I think it seems like it's better this way. All right, come on now. Here we go. Yeah. All right. That turned out really nice. Okay. Yep. They're on there real good. So now we need to, and I'm just not going to be able to do this. Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can finagle this with the close-up cam. Although the close-up cam is probably going to really struggle to focus on this, but let's see. So 5-volt has to go on first, and then it's ground up here in the corner, and then camera back here. So let's make these wires go in this direction. So if I put the camera here, that should give me just enough room on these cables. Let's bend this guy up and out of the way. All right, so we'll put the camera right there, just so that the wires are coming in a direction that makes sense. And then we will grab our tweezers here. Try to grab it right at the tip of the tweezers so that I can hold the wire as flat to the board as possible. All right, so here we go. 5-volt first. Awesome. Ground next. When you grab with just the tip of the tweezers, the wire is going to pop out of there. It's actually a good thing that it's popping out of there. That means that you're not grabbing it too hard. If you're grabbing the wire too hard, you have a chance of pushing right through the insulation, which is no good. All right, here's the ground. It's almost good. I'm gonna hit it one more time real quick. There we go. That's a little tiny bit better. And now the video wire, which is hooking up to the cam pad. All right with the tips of the tweezers. And get that as flat as possible there. Good to go. Awesome. All right. Caddx Ant has been installed. I'm going to put a little half a twist on these camera wires, and then we're going to go into the little G-string like this. And pull it around the lens like that. It's just a little fiddly, but you'll get it. All right, so we go like that. And then the back of the G-string here is going to go in between, I think. Yeah, it's going to go in between the remote connector here, plug, and this little wire bundle here. So that TPU is now going to go down. It's just impossible for me to show you this, but it's going to go down, and then it's going to go through this hole in the frame here. This is where the front of the little G-string is, and then I'm going to bring the back of it down through this hole. I set them up right next to each other in the slots so that it just kind of like holds the bottom of the camera as solidly as possible. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but I haven't really noticed much of a difference doing it differently than that, but I'm sure there is a difference. Jay Jones says, just had a 40mm open prop micro flip out on me and cut the shit out of my finger. I armed the motors in BetaFlight and went full throttle into my hand. Yeah, the 75mm whoops, they make some power, man. They're I'm not totally surprised that it cut you. I hate that it cut you, obviously, but yeah, they make some good power. I always kind of wondered if they would cut people. Now we know. I'm sure they're just like paper cuts, but still, it's gonna sting like a bastard. I'm sure. I might need to move this camera out. It does not seem to be all that happy. There's a bunch of components on the bottom of the front of the PCB, and they are making it kind of impossible to get this little G-string fed down there. I've got another like 60 seconds of fucking with this before I get pissed off and have to put it aside. And I'll figure it out later. But let me just try for another minute. And I'll throw in the towel. Oh my God, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. There has to be. There's probably not a camera mounting solution that's as lightweight as this, but I'll take another half a gram to have the camera more solidly mounted and to not have to do this, what I'm doing right now. This is, I just want to scream. It might not even work like this. Like I might need to move the, yeah, this is not going to happen. Like I might need to move this camera mount up to the front slot. Just looking at, I'm actually going to do that because I really want to get this done. All right, so one side of the camera mount has a notch thing in it that's bigger than the other side. So what I find is it's actually easier to pull it through like this and then mush these out here. All right, there's one notch. Here comes the second notch. Oh, come on. I don't want to rip it, so I'm going to use the pliers to kind of push it through, at least diagonally, to get it kind of started. Anybody that has a Fractal frame knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. Every single person that doesn't have a Fractal frame is like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to go through the front, and that'll give this a little bit more room. Hopefully that'll be enough. But I'm just realizing that I cut this thing really short, and I need something to grab onto, and I don't have anything to grab onto. My God, is this fiddly. Okay, I wonder if I can mash it through. She's mashing it. Yeah, I'm giving this guy a handy under the table. She's mashing it. What's that character's name? Snail? Snail. Snail makes that noise. Thus the nickname Snail. Ooh, this is annoying. Oh, and I dropped it. Oh, boy. This is going to drive me insane. Let's try mashing it through on the other side here. Oh, it looks like I can just put one of the little nubblies through and then just like make the angle. Ooh, 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 ooh. This might be good. Come on, get in there. I put a Jimi Hendrix CD into my car's CD player, so every time I drive, I've been listening to Jimmy. And it's just in my brain, man. I'm just singing Jimi Hendrix songs all day, every day. Got it. I win. Okay. So now that I got those little nubblies through, we're going to pull the G-string part through, and then the big fat bottom part is going to just lock in there. That's the part that I find it almost impossible to push out, which is why you have to pull the mount through. Now we are in the weeds now, my friends. Come on, pushing and pulling mounts. Says the dog under the table. Ooh, I'm going to have to do the same thing back here. Oh my God, how the hell am I going to get this through there? I'm probably not gonna. I don't know how I'm going to mount this camera. I don't know how I'm going to get this mount through here at an angle like I just did. Smushed in on top of everything else. Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen. So you have to kind of... Oh, God, dog, you are so smelly today. Holy crap. Yeah, this ain't going to happen. I'm going to have to cut this TPU out and use a new one. They give you an extra long little lead on it, but then you have to cut that off because of where the battery sits. So it's like I don't understand how you can ever use one of these more than once. Like I would think that they would include like 10 of these things so that you have enough for life. Because yeah, once you snip this thing down, there's not enough to go through the damn holes again. Oh, this is frustrating. If I pulled this duct off, it would probably be... Yeah, let's do that. Dingles says, have you tried the BetaFPV 0702 30,000 kV motors? If so, what are your thoughts? I've not. They were supposed to send me some, and I dropped the ball, and they didn't. So blame me. I don't hear anybody talking about them though, so I can't imagine that they're that good. Maybe they are, and everybody's like me, but I doubt it. All right, let's see with this duct removed if it's possible to do this. I still don't really think that it is, but you never know. So I'm gonna have to get it down in there, and then I'm gonna have to make a 45-degree angle, and then I'm gonna have to push it through because it's not long enough to be pulled through. This ain't gonna happen. This is unrealistic. Yeah, and the tweezers just don't get enough grip on the TPU to put enough force into it. Like, you have to use a pair of pliers, but then they're not gonna fit. Oh yeah, this is... Oh boy, I love when this frame is together, but oh man, putting it together makes me want to fucking pee my pants and just quit the hobby. It's just not gonna work. Like it's just there's no way. There's no way to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I have another one of these. Okay, so what I need to find is a fractal box. There's a fractal box that hopefully has some extra TPU in it. Hey! Alright, terrific. So it's this piece. And alright. This sucks, man. I was hoping to try a couple of different cameras on this, but every time I switch the camera, I'm gonna have to burn another one of these, and this is the last one that I have. So that's not great. Jesus, it's 5:12 already? Okay. Well. Yeah, I can just pull it back through. I was going to say, I might as well cut this TPU off, but not really. Wait, I might actually be able to salvage this. I need to cut these little lumpies off, though. I think I'm gonna be okay. Hold on. I'm gonna try to use this. I need to make it sharper so they'll go farther through the slot in the TPU. Let's just try this. Let me give this one more try. This one that's already on here. I might have figured this out. Put the little lens through the butthole area. And pull it over top. All right, let's see. Can I get it far enough through to where I can pull it on in there? All right, so the challenge has just begun. I need to pull this part up tighter. This is kind of like a big camera. And this TPU is seemingly just not quite long enough, but I think it actually is. I just have to get it like absolutely perfect on here. And then I just need to like tilt the camera backwards and maybe it'll go in there. Fuck. I need to like pull it really tight on the front of the camera so that I have enough slack here. And then I just need the slack to like sit down where I need it to go and then go through the friggin' slot. Oh, is this annoying? God, come on. There it is. There's. Okay. So there's going through it. But yeah, see, it's just not long enough. Like the camera's too big. Come on. Peek through. Peek through, you bastard. Ah! I need like a second set of hands on this. Oh, I might have it. I got it, I got it, I got it. Almost got it. I think I got it. Come on. Nope, 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 nope. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. I'm so sorry that you guys have to listen to that duck, but I'm not convinced I'll ever be able to get this through here again. Problem that I'm seeing is by pulling this so tight, it's putting a shitload of up tilt on the camera. Oh, fuck, I just ripped it. Yeah, it's just not going to work. Ah! God damn it. There has to be a better way. There just has to. Yeah, I'm not gonna. This camera is much bigger. It's not gonna work. I'm to the last little nub. I'm assuming that I've done this a couple of times, and each time I've done it, I've cut one of the little nubs off, and now I'm on the last nub, and it's just not gonna happen. Like I can't pull it far enough in there, so this is just trash. And I'm gonna have to use this brand new one. All right, so feed it through like this. All right. So this is what they look like when they're fresh. They got a whole bunch of these nubs. And so you just pull it through and you want to try to angle it. There we go. Okay, so now it's like that. And now we've got the camera lens, which goes through. I also I'd like to pull this mount really tight just to try to keep the camera from rotating and pointing the wrong direction and all of that. Like, yeah, it's just it's difficult. Oh my God, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you got to really split the little G-string part wide. So now it'll be a breeze because this this brand new one is nice and long. So I can just feed it through like that. And now, but the problem is I'm going to have to cut this because otherwise the battery won't go all the way through. So I hope I like this camera. Because, yeah, I'm going to have to cut this thing down to say, oh, man, look at all that up tilt. I don't want that up tilt. And there's no way to, like, control the up tilt. Like, you set the up tilt, and then it just, like, every time you crash, it changes. And, like, look, it's sitting in here all sideways now, too. Like, how do I, like, look at this. Look how sideways the camera is. Like, this is And I made these camera wires. I should have made these camera wires a little bit longer. This was kind of stupid. Camera wires are kind of, they might be kind of pulling on the camera a little bit, I think. Maybe. It's really hard to tell. Camera mounting via hopes and prayers. Yeah, I wonder. Oh, man. There's just. I feel like it was way better with the TPU going through the front slot. But the problem with putting it through the front slot is instead of having problems here, you have problems here with the camera being tilted. So when you level up the horizon, the thing starts sliding sideways. I don't really have any solutions here. What I've done in the past is I've tried to get this pointed as straightforward as possible, and then I've put 2 blobs of welder here on the corners, and I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. Let's try to pull this G-string through one more notch. Maybe that'll help the situation. Okay, there we go. So that's one more notch through. So now it's pulling down on the camera harder. Oh, that definitely helps. Okay, that absolutely helps. All right, great. So that's as far as I'm going to go because this camera is really fat. Now, because of the way the battery mounts, I have to now cut this down. I can't just let this hang out like this. And this is what kind of makes these things one-time use. So I got to come up here. I'm going to cut it there. And even so, like, the battery still doesn't go very far through here. Like, it kind of mangles into this, but it's better this way. Okay, so we're going to leave that. Jesus, this took way, way, way longer than I thought, and I haven't even fixed the actual problem that I'm here to fix. Okay, so what I need to spec out is one that, man, we haven't flown either. I'm going to table this, and we're going to fly a bunch because I want to do all the things that are in the live stream. The live stream title talked about switching the camera, and we switched the camera, so I'm happy with that. I can't show you what the camera looks like because the effing battery lead broke off. There's a chance that I can just real quick, like, zap it on here. Nah, fuck that. I'll do it properly. Off stream. Okay. So, a little bit more bashing. We're going to go upstairs, and hopefully the dog doesn't eat the whoops. He's been pretty good so far. But I want to just continue to batter these two frames, and yeah, Runcam Nano's on the way. But let's do a little flying. Okay, Dingles. Oh no, we got that. Chick with a Stick says, I can't find that soldering putty anywhere. I know someone sent it to you. It is from Mass Adhesives. It's called Electronic Goop. Massadhesive.com. MASSADHESIVE.com. And it's called Thermally Resistive Putty. They don't have many products on their website, though, so. Dog came running. He came running down the stairs when I turned on the transmitter. I think he heard the beeps. I think this dog, Duke absolutely despised FPV. This dog seems to love FPV. I love that he loves it right up until the moment that he eats one of these things. Then there's going to be a fist fight. This is the... Oh, dog, you smell so bad, buddy. My God, man. This is the Cockroach framed. Cockroach 65 V3 framed Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. Easy. Do not eat. I will never get enough of those little steps that he takes. Hey! Relax! I'm trying to capture... Oh, dog! What are you doing? I'm trying to... I want to capture him jumping up to try to get it. Oh, shit! What was that? Godzilla's in the house. He's trying to knock me off the fucking skyscrapers. All right, let's hurry up and get some absolute and utter chaos in here. I'm not going to crash it on purpose. But, ah! Maybe him eating it would be an interesting durability test. I would need him to eat multiples, though. Where you at, dog? He saw something else he's interested in. I'm trying to figure out how to, like, look down at him, you know? That's hard. I have to pitch it forward enough to get it moving forward. Oh God! Oh boy, he is just on fire wanting to eat this thing. Chase it upstairs, buddy. Come here. Chase it upstairs. Yeah. Come on. Come upstairs with me. Let's go upstairs, buddy. He's not willing to go upstairs. I'm afraid to crash it because I don't want him to eat it. Battery's dead anyway. No! Oh boy. Look, he doesn't know where it is. Ah! Hello, little dog. Well, that was I got no crashes in on that battery because I'm just terrified of Godzilla over here. Jesus Christ. What's the deal, Teddy? Are you gonna eat this thing, or are you gonna be cool if it crashes on the ground? Are you gonna be cool, or are you gonna eat it? What's your deal? What do I need to expect here? He goes so hard. He goes so fucking hard. Stop, dog. Now you're knocking everything over. Come on, man. Oh, Christ. Oh, boy. He's going hard, friends. He's going hard. Doggie's going hard. Oh, boy. We're going hard. Doggie's going hard. Oh, boy. Oh, no. He's going to eat it. What I do know is that, like, when he gets all jacked up on the goofballs, there's no stopping him. Like, he bites us. He bites everything. It's absolute mayhem when he is, like, fully jacked on them goofballs. Ooh, that was a big one. Let's get another big one in here. Ooh. I'm just too good. I don't even crash anymore, yo. Uh-oh. Where is he? Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Maggie in there? Maggie, can you lock him up? I'm sending my ESP. This is me asking Maggie to lock him up. Maggie, can you lock the dog in here? Maggie! Baby, can you put the dog in here? Maggie! Baby, can you put the dog in... No, 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 no! Oh! No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh, my God. No, no, no. No, no, no. Doggy in here. In here. Doggy in here. Maggie! Maggie! Doggy in here! Doggy goes in here! Doggy goes in there. Oh. Oh! Whoa! Shit! Yeah. Put him in there. Put him in there. Oh, he got his toy in his mouth. He can't eat me if he has his toy in his mouth. He's gonna drop that toy and eat the shit out of this tiny whoop. I want to fly under him so bad. But that might be how I ruined it for Duke. There he is. He's giving me the side profile. Oh, he didn't let me. Oh, no. No. Little steps. Oh no. Just the funniest thing ever. He's so desperate to catch it. Oh shit, the battery. Oh fuck, there's some crash. There is a crash test. Oh no, this battery's done. Oh. Oh god. Oh man, it's just the funniest thing. Oh, this poor battery. Oh god. Oh, it's too funny. All right, well we got a big tumble down the stairs. That's good. I like that. Man, the dog made a mess down here. He knocked shit everywhere. Woo! Okay. I don't know. I gotta get this battery right on the charger. Ah, 3.2. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. So that was the Cockroach 65 frame. Now we're gonna go to the WeBleed FPV Crown prototype V2. And this is with an A30 connector. Not that that really makes any difference. But yeah, and now this is the WeBleed 32,500 kV 0702s instead of the 32,000s from Tiny Whoop. I don't really feel a difference between these two. I don't think there's a there's an actual RPM difference. Although I could test that, but I think that there's too much variation. I would want to put them on the same ESC. Same channels of the same ESC, actually. All right. Here we go. What? Why? Who's rubbing and why are they rubbing? What? Oh, that was motor wire. I hate when I do that. I hate when the motor wire comes up into the prop. Ooh. It like eats away at the silicone. Oh God, why? No, 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 no! Don't make me walk. Don't make me walk. I'm not a walking person. I don't like to walk. No. Oh, it's in there. It's under there. Oh. Yes. No. Come on. Get out of there! Yes. Yes. Freedom. Oh. Hey! No, no, no. No! Don't! Nope. Nope. Yep. Oh! 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 Alright. Nope. Come on. Nope! Yep! Nope! Yep! Now the battery's dead, let's go upstairs. Oh. He's trying to get him in here. One surefire way to get him on in here. Yes! Oh, thank you! Now the chaos begins. Here we go. Oh! Okay. Yeah, we're going to do some durability testing for sure. Here we go. Oh! Ripped right by those little lamp things. Oh! Come on. Here we go. High octane flying on a dead battery. Not really dead. Well, it's kind of dead. Whoa! That couch jumped out and got me. Oh, that was right above my head. Uh-oh. Oh! Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, no, no. Don't eat me, couch. Don't eat me. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh. I turned a little bit too early. I thought I could kind of cheat it. Here we go. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Next battery. We're going to put a bunch of batteries right in a row and just batter the shit out of these two upstairs. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come out of there, battery. There we go. All right. Another one. We're just going to go all in upstairs. All chaos. Frame's fine. All right, here we go. Going all the way in. Full battery up there. Let me actually put on a little bit of music because I kind of just want to focus on smashing. Odd-shaped face? Okay, sure. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, God. Hey, let me go. What the fuck, this battery? What? 37 seconds and this battery's shot. This must be one of the ones that I over-discharged. Come on, come out of there, shit battery. 3.9? Yeah, that battery is shot. That's an internal resistance problem right there. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Whoa. Whoa, what's happening? Ah! Oh my God! Ah! No! No, no, no! 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 It's all the way upstairs! No! Oh, kill me. Zay wants to throw it downstairs. Oh, they already did. I was hoping they would wait. Oh, God. Well, it got some crash testing. Oh! 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 Oh, God! Oh! That fucking carry! Oh! Fan got me. Oh, the light! Oh! Almost in the dog water. Get that a little cleaner. There we go. Oh! Kept it out of the Papasan chair. Oh God, why? Why would I fly in there in the first place? Look at the tune on this rig, it's locked. Battery's getting tired. I don't usually fly this like aggressively and fast. This is fun. Come on, come on, come on. One more through this, and then we'll finish strong on the Cockroach 65 V3. Here we go. WeBleed FPV crown frame holding up to mad abuse. Just got thrown off the second floor by Azalea. was that wall? Oh, okay. Let's see what I did. Ah, I cut it a little too early. Ah. Come on. Come on. Oh! Ooh! Jesus, easy, easy. God, I'm like discombobulated. Woo! Ah! Blanket got me. There we go. There's a good one. Oh! Okay. There is no harder crash than that. Oh boy. I mean, it seems to be flying okay, but that was vicious. Maybe it's not flying okay. Oh, that was brutal. There's something's going on. I think the up tilt has changed. Look, there's very little duct on the bottom. I think there's a shitload of up tilt right now. Yikes, yo, that was a tremendously hard hit. Just a little kiss on the ceiling there. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of up tilt. It's like 7,000 miles an hour all the time right now. Woo! Oh yeah, lots of up tilt. Oh boy, that hit from that power loop was ridiculous. I don't know, I just didn't pull out of the power loop. Seems fine, though. That will have battered the front motors, though. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can see the front motor wobbling. Oh, sorry, little guy. Oh, man, both front motors. Let me fire them up in turtle mode real quick. See how bad they're vibing. Alright, let's see. Motor 1, back right rear. Pretty smooth. Motor 2. Motor 2 is not too bad. Motor 3. Motor 3 is kind of dirty. Motor 4. It's not that bad. Motor 3 is still the worst, so... that's an important kind of thing to keep an eye on, because as these frames get lighter and more sort of wobbly, they're gonna protect the motors even less in theory, but also, like, if when they take a hit, the motor base moves, then it's really not putting that much of the anger into the motor. Don E with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Jesse James says, "Happy Sunday, Teddy is the best. You clip Duke's balls with the props." Maybe. Okay. Back over to the Cockroach 65 V3. Couple of batteries and then we're out. And here we go. Oh man, that was a brutal hit. Jesus. I felt that one in my soul. Oh god, why? Come on! on, please. There you go. I'm flying through OBS. That's a terrible idea. Oh! Hey, what? Get me out of here. Get me away from the dog bowls, for Christ's sakes. Where's that big one? The big one is over here. Oh! Oh! Ah! I backed into the couch. Uh-oh. It's acting funny. It's good. Oh, that was the hit, but last time I was just so close to the ceiling, I just, like, waited until, like, a little too late. Oh, what? I don't know how I got away with that one, but I'll take it. Okay, I gotta hear a teddy. I hear a teddy. Look like he's putting him outside. Yeah. Sweet. Ah! Eh! Ah! Come on. Come on now. Teddy's going pee-pee doggy! Pee-pee doggy! Oh, I bounced out of the Papazon chair. That'll never happen again. Just laying that front roll out, make it look like something else. Oh boy. At least these stairs are carpeted. Oh shit! Oh, that came down from a height. Ooh, that fan! No! No. Oh god! Cut it too tight. Oh no. Oh boy, this battery's gonna be dead for life! No! Just ditch it in the ocean. Woo! One more. Put this battery right on the charger to get that voltage up. 3.4, not too bad on that one. Last battery, friends. Thanks for hanging. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Support me over at CiottiFPV.com. And I'll keep doing this all the time. How's that sound? Yeah. Beep, Goggles. I want you to beep. I like it best when you beep. Oh! Stop it! Come on! Did a little Gran Turismo 7 stream yesterday. That was super fun. Why is this thing flying so weird? It's not. Oh god, no! Oh. That ain't coming out. Why does that say 3.6? A little low, isn't it? All right, let's try something dumb. Running out of things to try upstairs. I've flown up there a good amount. Whoa! Oh! Ooh. Hey. Oh! I don't know why I'm arming it and then disarming it like that. Oh, there was a good one. We could see the shadow up on the ceiling there. That was cool. Oh! That was more a test of the canopy than anything else. Oh man, the video's looking a little shitty. I'm gonna knock the antenna off. Fuck. Up. Yeah, there's something going on with the antenna. I knocked it off. Yep, knocked the UFL plug right out. All right, we're gonna end it there. That's that's a good spot to end it. We had a couple. I think we had some harder crashes with the crown frame today, but you know, next time we do this, we'll probably, I mean, 50-50, but yeah, it'll be fine. It did not break off the UFL, so I just need to fish it in there and fish it around and plug it back in. Man, you got to hit it hard to do that. That does not happen often. It came down like a ton of bricks on the canopy, though, and the canopy is completely fine. These Mobula 6 canopies are just a fucking modern miracle. They are so strong, and they hold the camera in just the right spot. Am I really going to be able to just pop this right back on in like 3 seconds? No way. No way. Get on there. Get on there, UFL. Come on. Be cool. Push down really hard. Tweezers came off and I smashed into the board. I hope I didn't break anything. I should pull the canopy off to do this, but what fun is that? What? Why is it not? Arrgh. Let the pirate fix it. Arrgh. Man, UFLs are fiddly little bitches, aren't they? It just has to be. All right, friends. Thanks for hanging. It's a good spot to leave it. Perfect. Goggles start beeping. Shut the stream down. That's the way it should work. All right, guys. I'll see you. What's today? Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow night at 10. Tomorrow night is a giveaway live stream. If you're not a patron on the $5 and up tiers, you will not be entered into the three out of four of the giveaways. $5 a month, you can get in on the Tiny Whoop and Toothpick giveaway. $10 a month, you can get in on the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop giveaway. $20 a month, you can get on the 5-inch giveaway. $30 and up, you can get in on all 3 giveaways. It's $1 a day. If you win any one of those giveaways, you'll be winning like $50, $60 worth of stuff. It'll pay for a couple of months. So yeah, support your buddy, CiottiFPV.com. Join the Patreon. Now's the time. Get in on some giveaways tomorrow night. Help me keep doing this full time, and yeah, we'll keep hanging 4 times a week. Be good, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern time. A little bit more flying from chasing some drift cars last night. Thursday night, not last night. Have an awesome rest of your Sunday, my friends. Be good. Bye-bye.